Welcome back, everybody. I'm a 90s Star Wars kid, and we continue our farming of value cards in the Secrets of Power set of Star Wars Unlimited. I believe, this is our second to last box. So this is box 5 in case 2. Second to last box. And the previous box that we opened was very sad. It was a very sad box. Not really much value in the legendaries and not really much value in the rares. And so here's to hoping that we have some great hits in this one. As always, we are aiming for Amidala's, Karis Nemik's, Darth Trias, Darth Malik's, Darth Nihilus, all the Darths, Darth everything. Those are our hitters. We start with a legendary Cassian Andor, only worth a couple $2 to $3. Which, again, if you're new to Star Wars Unlimited, that's not a bad hit, but you got to hit a lot of those to make up for a box. Really, you got to hit one of the big hitters to make up the price of a box. And there we go. There's a big hitter, nowhere near the biggest, but as far as rares go, Karis Nemik is somewhere around the most valuable rare in the set. So we are happy with that hit. In terms of rares, we can't do better than that. All right, no showcase. And by the way, we've already hit one showcase in this case. So we don't expect to hit another, but we'd love to. We're always chasing showcases, just like everybody else. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Emergency powers, that's a good hit. That's going for about $5, I think. So we'll take it. We're currently sitting somewhere around $17 to $18 on those hits. Get through the commons. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Obi-Wan legendary. Let's go. I think Obi-Wan's going for about $8. Again, the market moves a lot up and down really quickly. I haven't checked in a while, but I think it's about $8. So we'll call that $10 of legendaries, and we'll call it 15 in rares. So we're sitting at about $25 in value here, ladies and gentlemen. About $25 in value. That's a good place to be after this many packs. The only question is, can we keep it going? So uncommon, uncommon. We have a hyperspace rare Topple the Summit. That one's probably going to go for about $5. Our regular rare Orn Frita is going to go for $0. And then we have an uncommon foil. So now we're at about 30. We're about halfway back to the cost of the box. If we can get one Amidala, we break even. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Ebon Hawk, that's still a good hit. That's sitting around $4 to $5. So now we'll call it 35. So we're a quarter in at $35. I don't think we're going to be able to keep this hit rate going, but fingers crossed. Commons, common hyperspace, more commons. Uncommon, uncommon. Uncommon hyperspace. Luthen's Hallcraft I don't think is worth anything. So that might be our first pack to have 0 hits. Common, common, common. Getting through the commons. Then we have uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Bo-Katan as a rare, good for between $2 to $3. So we're edging up towards 40 at this point. Edging towards 40, still in the first half of the box. Getting through the commons. Then we have uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. The Eye of Aldani, unfortunately, not worth anything. So our hit rate is slowing down. It's what I expected. But let's see what we can do here. Getting through the commons. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Blue Ace rare, not worth anything. We have a foil Major Partagas. Unfortunately, I think the foil version might not be worth anything. because often the foils are worth less than the regular. Jabba, get through the commons. Uncommon, 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 legendary figure of Unity. That's good. That's about a $4 to $5 card. So we will now say that we are firmly above $40 on recouped value here. We need about 20 more, which is going to be tough, but we got a shot. So you're saying there is a chance. Uncommon, 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 rare Saw Gerrera's U-Wing is not worth anything. We are now officially into the second half of our second to last box, ladies and gentlemen. What can we do in the second half? If it goes as well as the first half, we're great, but I highly doubt it. We got a lot of hits on that first half. Oh, nice. There we go. Legendary Obi-Wan number 2. So that's a great hit. We are now I'll say we're firmly at the $50 mark, which means if in the rest of these packs we can assemble $10 of value, we break even. We break even. Getting through the commons here. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. One way out. That is not a hit for us. That does not help. Got a Jabba. Get through the commons. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Director Krennic legendary. That's going for a couple bucks. So almost nothing, but not actually zero. We can get a couple bucks out of that. So let's say we're looking for $8 more of value here. Not to profit, just to break even. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Taladurith is the rare, which is not a hit, not worth anything. Get through the commons. Then we have an uncommon, 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 exiled from the Force rare, which unfortunately I don't think is worth anything. We're hoping for one more legendary, and if it's a good legendary, we break even. If it's a bad legendary, we don't. And if we don't get any more legendaries, then it's going to be pretty tough. Uncommon, 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 rare Cyril Karn. Well, okay, that'll put us up another couple bucks. So we're looking for about $6 more of value. Certainly doable. Certainly doable. Uncommon, 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 hyperspace, followed by a Vice Admiral Rampart, which is not a hit, not worth anything. Getting through the commons. Then we have an uncommon, 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 hyperspace, followed by Nemik's Manifesto. That's a legendary. It's worth a couple of bucks. And then we have a hyperfoil Mirage Sintel, maybe $1. So between Nemik's Manifesto and Mirage Sintel, we are essentially break even. Within the margin of error, we have broken even, but just barely, if at all. Let me get these commons out of here. Then uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. A rare Newt Gunray is not going to help our hit rate. Another Karis Nemik would be great. That would put us over the top. As would a Hyperspace Disaster. That would put us over the top. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. The Mandalorian rare. That is not going to help. We're down to 2 packs. We only have 2 packs to move above that break even. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Mirage Sintel rare, common hyperfoil. That did not do it. So if we're going to get beyond break even, this is a do or die now. This is the last pack. Get through the commons. Uncommon, uncommon, uncommon. Trade route taxation is like literally $1. So we may have literally broken even. So let me show you what we got here. This is what it looks like to just make your money back on a box. Director Krennic for a couple bucks, Figure of Unity 4 to 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm hoping it's still around 8, Nemec's Manifesto 2 to 3, Cassian Andor 2 to 3, Trade Route Taxation just $1, Mirage Sintel Hyperfoil, hoping $1 because it's Hyperfoil, Cyril Karn a couple, Bo-Katan 2 to 3, Ebon Hawk 4 or 5, Topple the Summit somewhere between 3 to 5 I think. Actually that's a hyperspace, so maybe even a little more, but we'll call it 3 to 5. Emergency Power is about 5. Karis Nemec is 10. Mirage Sintel, nothing. The rest of these, I think, are nothing. The Mandalorian, Newt Gunray, Vice Admiral Rampart, Exiled from the Force, Taladurith, One Way Out, Saw Gerrera's Ewing, Major Partagas Foil, Blue Ace, The Eye of Aldani, Luthen's Hallcraft, Orin Frita, Taladurith Foil, and Ahsoka Tano Foil. That is the second to last box in these two cases. That means there is only one more box to go, and that means you have to come back for it. So until then, I'm 90 Star Wars Kid, and I'll see you in the final box.